Hi everyone, my name is Megan and this is How to Be a Super Friend at Home. Today we are going to be talking about autism. We actually did that in one of my other videos where we watched a video. It had Sesame Street characters that have autism and how they've become friends. Today I thought it would be nice though if we could read a story. Now, because we can't be at the library at this time, I can't hold up a book and I can't be turning the pages like I'd like to. But the good news is that YouTube actually has some videos called read-alouds. And all a read-aloud is someone reading a book. And they normally show the pages so you can follow along. And it's really just like being at the library listening to a story time. So before you watch this video any further, I would like it if you could go to YouTube right now, and I'll show you how I do it. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. When you are on YouTube, at the top of the screen, there's a search bar. And up here, all you are going to type is "Since We're Friends." This is the title of the book that we normally discuss at the library. And then the first video that comes up is this one. And I really like this read aloud because they show you the pages, there's some nice music in the background, and I think you'll really like it too. So you can watch this on your own and then come back here and we'll talk about it together. Okay, I'll see you soon. Hi everyone, I hope you liked watching the read aloud. So now we are going to have a super talk about that super story. And I wanted to remind you all that Matt is the character who has autism. We never actually hear the name of his friend, but his friend really does seem like he's a great friend to Matt. He's always trying to include him. He likes to do what Matt likes to do. They both play basketball together. It seems like they have a really nice friendship. But I wanted to review with you that Matt has something called autism. And his friend actually says at the beginning of the story that autism just means that Matt's brain works a little differently from his. Matt is not sick though. He's not sick at all. Sometimes though, with autism, we see that Matt may act a little differently than you or I might in the same situation. So do you remember when Matt got very upset when someone was on his favorite swing? You might think I would never do that. But if you think back in time, can you think of a time when you were upset when your favorite thing to do at the playground was busy? I know that I was always upset if the big jungle gym was too crowded for me to go on. So really, you and Matt may not be that different. We also saw that Matt loves to talk about animals. And what was really nice was that his friend made an effort to see the dogs with Matt because he knew that Matt would really enjoy it. Can you think of a time when you did something with your friend and maybe it wasn't your favorite activity, but you did it because you knew it would make them happy? Matt can still play basketball with his friend. He still swims. He plays freeze tag. He can do what you and I like to do. Sometimes we remember that he has autism. Sometimes he seems like just any other friend that you or I have. Matt likes to do all the same things. So now I want you to think, how would you be a super friend? What would you do if you saw someone being mean to Matt when he was playing freeze tag? You can take a few seconds, think about it in your head, maybe write it down if you want to. I'll think too. So something I might do if I saw someone being mean to Matt is that I would ask them to stop. I would say, that's not nice and there's no reason to be mean here. Something else you could do is tell an adult. So if this was happening at school, you could tell your teacher or whoever is watching you at recess. If it was happening in your neighborhood, you could tell a parent. There are many things you could do to help Matt if you saw someone being mean to him. But hopefully that would never happen. All right. Now we're going to talk more about this story, but about senses. So can you name the 5 senses? I bet you got them all down. So the 5 senses are something that allow us to interact with the world around us. Right now I'm filming this outside, so I hear birds in the background. I can see the green trees behind me. I can feel the ground beneath my feet. You know, it just helps me get a sense of where I am and what's going on around me. Some people, though, when they are interacting with the world, their senses, they're almost like they're turned on a little bit more powerful than what you and I feel. So sometimes Matt, he may get a little bit overwhelmed. And that's because his senses are like on maximum level right now. The noises outside seem much louder to him. His clothes on his back may seem much more itchy than they do to me. The lights may seem so bright to him. This is just something that sometimes happens if someone has autism. So loud noises, crowded rooms, the bright lights, they can be too much for Matt. If you remember in the book, Matt's friend says that it's hard for Matt to listen to the coach when the crowd is being really loud. And that may sound different to you, but have you ever been in a really crowded room, maybe a classroom when your teacher was trying to get your attention? It was probably really hard to hear her, right? Or if you've ever been to a concert or a carnival, it can be really loud there too. And then it may be hard to listen to your mom or your grandfather or whoever is with you at that time. And it can just make things seem really overwhelming. Can you imagine what it would feel like if all your senses felt really strong all at the same time? I'm trying to imagine it now, and I bet that sometimes it would be overwhelming. Maybe sometimes it'd be cool, like if I was petting a really soft dog, it would feel super, super soft and nice. But now a car just drove by, and that may sound really loud and hurt my ears. So I bet sometimes it may be cool for Matt to have strong senses, and other times he may wish that things were a little bit quieter. Now I want you to think, do you know someone who is different than you? I bet that you do. And do you think you can be friends with someone who's different than you? I think that's a really good question. And I think absolutely. We saw in Since We're Friends that Matt and his friend were not exactly the same, and yet they still got along really well, were able to play sports together, and they had a great friendship. So the next time you're thinking about asking someone to play, and you may be thinking we're kind of different, maybe rethink that. You may actually be really great friends in the future. Thank you so much for listening to that story with me and talking about it. I hope that you had fun and enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.